and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, week number 16. Oh my, 16 weeks. We have made it. Welcome back to your weekly dose of Open StarCraft, a tournament open to all regions, all shapes, all sizes. I'm of course your ZvP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat as well. Massive shout out to Stegosaurus, Proto-Stegosaurus, for the 5 gifted subs to the community. Thank you so much for the support. Not just the support in the chat, but also the support in the tournament. For those who don't know, usually this event is 150 USD, but thanks to our lovely supporter and passionate StarCraft fan in the chat, Proto-Stegosaurus, it is 300 USD is the prize pool. We are jumping into our first series and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the green Protoss player representing ZSO Esports. It is UedSoldier. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player from the land of Costa Rica, representing Team License to Kill. It is EON. Here we go. I do need a moment here to set up the player names and set up the UI. I got you covered. Bam. There we go. So we know who everyone is, but yes, thank you so much for the support in the chat, and welcome everyone, welcome one and all. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is stacked. The bracket has some killer players, some insane signups this week. I mean, last night we had Bjorn. Bjorn did sign up for Sparkling Tuna Cup, and this morning we have not just Bjorn, we have Shin as well, and many other players. So we'll see if anyone can stop Bjorn versus Shin facing off in the grand finals. We'll see if any of these other players can rise to the challenge. I believe they can. And we're here to find out. We're here to bear witness. Also, a shout out to Little Mac. Little Mac is covering other matches throughout the event towards the upper half of the bracket. I believe covering Medic Jr. into Bjorn. So Little Mac has you covered when it comes to some other matches not being featured here. Now we can focus on our ZvP. For the time being, Hatchgaspool, standard opener. Standard opener so far out of EON, settling into his own mid-game. Likewise, we do have UedSoldier going for a standard opener as well. But I'm sure aggression is on the table. I'm sure aggression is on the horizon here for our players. Again, both UedSoldier and EON known for their mid-game, known for their aggressive openers, and there it is, a Twilight Council for UedSoldier. This can lead into Glaive Adepts, this can lead into Dark Templar. We have options with how aggressive and how assertive we want to be. So UedSoldier, he does throw down the gauntlet, is going to be opening up with the Twilight Council, will be delaying his expansion as a result. Meanwhile, EON back at home, droning. EON is droning on up. EON still in the dark as to what's going on. It's going to be up to the Overlord. It's going to be up to EON to figure out and piece together how aggressive his opponent is about to be. Here we go. As we do have our Robo being thrown down on the low ground, so it's going to be Twilight Council into Robo. We have pulled out a gas, should be Glaives. Should be Glaive Adepts, otherwise we would have 3 and 3 in that gas geyser. Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry. My apologies, but we are back. We can focus on our games, and here we go. We do have Glaives. As I mentioned before, because we did pull out, because we only have 2 and 2, it is going to be Glaive Adepts here from our Protoss player, and we do have EON rushing into a bit of an earlier lair instead. Oh, we're good. Here we go. We do have our fast lair out of EON. No tech yet, though. No Roachworn, so I'm a little bit concerned. Not gonna lie, as Adepts are massing up, getting ready to break out across. Some of the Adepts are here, the Prism as well, and UedSoldier, he's moving out. He is committing. Now, this is not an all-in. I should emphasize that. Ideally, though, you do want to get some damage done as we expand and transition back at home. So UedSoldier, the pressure is on. Likewise, EON back at home. No Roach War, none at all. It's going to be Ling Queen to defend. Oh, EON is in trouble. I was hoping that with the lair would come a Roach War, but alas, there is no Roach War. There's no Baneling Nest either. It's purely Lings and Queens. This is going to be a tough hold for EON. And the game may just end as you'd have to say shade into the mineral line. Lings are going down, drones are going down as well, and this is becoming critical damage. This is becoming far too much already. 6, 7 drone kills, efficient trades against the Lings, shading into the main, and more drones are going down. EON caught with his pants down. He did not scout the main, was unaware what was going on, did not play it safe. No safety Roach War, no safety Bailey Nest, 14 drone kills, and UedSoldier, he is still not done. Plenty of adepts up and running, dipping in between the natural, in between the third base, catching more workers. 28 Lings in production will eventually clean this up, but by then, I mean, UedSoldier, he's happily mining off of 42 workers, building up immortals for a Roach counterattack. There is no Roach counterattack, there is no Roach Warren. More adepts is all we need. Just keep warping in. Adept wave after wave of adepts. Not like this, Pappy, not like this. And EON will stem the tide. He will slow things down and eventually force back the army, but the adepts are still alive. They still have not been dealt with, and EON is down to 25 drones, barely an economy. Roach War now being thrown down. We have a lair, but we can't really make use of it. And in this kind of game state, all the UedSoldier really has to do is just calm things down, settle into his third base, macro up, but he's not even doing that. I mean, there's no need to. May as well just go for the kill. The Immortals have arrived. The Glaive Adepts have amassed once again for the second wave, for the second round. And EON has almost nothing to defend, has Lings, and Lings, they melt against this amount of Adepts. Zerg players in the chat, look away. Look away. It's not going to be pretty. So here we go. The third base does fall. And now the army's making its way towards the natural again, still only purely linked to defend. The adepts have arrived, and EON is going to make his final stand. Tries to dive in. Oof. Does attempt to. And UedSoldier will be able to as well. Shading into the main. Back and forth between the main base and the natural. And catching up the Spore Crawler. And we're hanging in there, but we're making roaches. Let's go. Roaches, but we have immortals. This is the problem. We already have immortals here on the front lines. Even if roaches did amass, we have immortals to help deal with them. Things are falling left and right. The main base falls. The Queens, they try to snipe that prism. Alas, the prism will barely get away. And they just keep bouncing. They just keep bouncing between the bases, between the middle lines. GG, and UedSoldier will take game number 1. GG. Let's go. See in the chat. Lads priorities. StarCraft number 1 fired up. It's all good. It's all good. It's fine, Boppy. It's fine. Where's that meme? I'm surrounded by fire. Don't worry about it. As we are jumping in. We still have the 3 great weeklies on Monday, only not from ESL anymore. Yeah, we got you. But yeah, we're covering this weekly, of course. This tournament did originally replace the ESL Americas weekly, but of course we made room for the Orsasaurus Cup, and of course we're going to be covering that here, as always. Likewise, we're going to be covering the Wardy event as well, but we won't be covering the KSRS, the Kalaris Steadfast Rotterdam event. We'll be sleeping. We'll be in bed. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the green Protoss player representing CSO Esports. We're leading the series 1-0. It is UedSoldier. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Team License to Kill, LTK. It is EON. Here we go. And we'll see if EON is able to get a read on what's going on this time, respond to his opponent. We mentioned earlier that UedSoldier is known for his aggression. It's not like he was all in last game, but was an aggressive start, and if you don't respect the aggression, then things can go south real fast, real quick, as we saw in that first game. So I imagine that this time EON is going to be taking a bit of either a safer approach or a more aggressive one and try and turn the tables on the Protoss. The tremendous Tortoise tournament. Ah, let's go. As here we go, we do have our gate expand. The gate expand is a side, of course, standard opener here out of UedSoldier. Likewise, scouting across the map, UedSoldier does confirm the hatch gas pool, does confirm that EON is not going for an earlier gas geyser or earlier spawning pool. So far, standard opener out of our Zerg player. So far at least. Again, I'm sure EON is ready to turn the tables on his opponents, I would imagine. Does come off as that kind of player, but we'll see. We shall see. Likewise, the pylon has been thrown down. Now, this pylon is thrown down closer to the main base for UedSoldier, so the chances of this being a Twilight Council opener is a little bit higher. I say that only because usually, there we go. Usually, if it's a Stargate opener, the pylon will be thrown down closer to the edge of the main base. So as it's further back, it is harder to scout. It is a Twilight Council. This could once again be Glaive Adepts. I mean, there's no reason to deviate just because, I mean, it worked amazingly in the first game. What I will say, though, is that the chances of EON throwing down a safety Roach Warren are a lot higher this time. They are a lot higher. Twilight Council has been thrown. Now we pull out of gas. Okay, Glaives. It's going to be Glaives, not Dark Templar. If we pull back in, we can commit to a more Dark Shrine-based opener. Meanwhile, very early Bailey Nest. EON going for the sub 3-minute Bailey Nest. It does feel like this is a more aggressive kind of response here by EON. You can defend against Glaive Adepts with Ling Bane. True, you can defend. It is difficult, but it is possible. But with a Bailey Nest this early on, EON wants to bust. EON, he wants to be the aggressor. He wants to bust across the map. We'll see if EON can hit first, or if UedSoldier masses up enough adepts in time. As here we go, Lings are amassing for EON, 18 Lings on the way. Bailey Nest almost done, and we're going for the bust. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either EON kills UedSoldier or he dies trying, and there is no shield battery. No shield battery on the low ground. Adepts are still not ready as the gateways have not warped in. The gateways are still on the way, and here we go. The Bailings, they're coming. 8 Bailings morphing in here for EON. Still more Lings fighting across the map. And without a sentry, without a backup building, without a shield battery, this wall is about to go down. This adept, I should say, is going to go down. And here we go, the Bailings have arrived. EON, he pulls the trigger. He commits. First adept falls. The Stalker as well. The Lings, they flood in. And we're going for the full surround. Sentry does warp in. A good reaction here out of UedSoldier. Does force field the ramp. But still only 2 adepts to work with. Good juggling here, saving the adepts just barely. Lings, though, they're still flooding in. The wall is about to be broken. Lings, they can flood in, Pappy. Go for it. They get a gateway. And they depower the gateways. Gateway does fall. There's still 2 gateways in the main. We can still warp in 2 units at a time, but probes are falling down, and we are busting into the main. No shield battery. No shield battery in the main base. 2 adepts. They get surrounded. Once again, though, the Prism is here to juggle to micro those units. There's 3 adepts left. 3 adepts trying to hold on, but that's 19 probe kills already. Oh, the Lings are being cleaned up, at least in the main. What about the natural? What about the natural? The Cybercore falls. No more adepts. Despite the gateways, no more adepts can be warped in. Yeah, only Zealots. Only Zealots left to defend. More Lings rushing forward. Bailings now on the way as well for UedSoldier. 1 Bailing. Can it connect to the mineral line? It's going to be on UedSoldier to try and focus it down, but he cannot. The Bailing will crash in. Massive connection. GG gets called, and EON ties up the series 1-1. Let's go. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. And one way or another, the series will end here in that final game. Now, we've had aggression out of the Protoss. We've had aggression out of the Zerg. After seeing UedSoldier go for Glaive Adept builds 2 games in a row, I imagine now we deviate. I imagine now he's going to mix it up here in game 3. I imagine. We'll see. We'll see, Pappy. We'll see. Catching up with the chat. Oh. Looks like we are going to be remaking the lobby. All good. And the final game is going to be on Crimson Court. Since our Lings will be able to handle this. I think that was in reference to the last game. Copium, Bobby. Copium. Again, the answer to the Adepts, either Banelings or Roaches. But we'll see. We'll see if we commit to Adepts again or if we go down a different path. Imagine that's going to be the case. And here we go in the, well, we do have in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the green Protoss player being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. Representing CSO Esports, it is UedSoldier. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team License to Kill. Bringing it back and forcing the ace match. Can he keep going? It is EON. Let's go. We have our ace match here. It all ends here. It all ends on Crimson Court. Now, there are some cheeky builds you can go for on this map, especially if you decide to mine out some mineral patches and try to skirt around the edge towards your opponent's natural. Otherwise, we could see a bit of a different game state here. There is this center base with a recharging gas geyser. If you take this, you can go for a 3-base or even a 2-base all-in. A little bit later on down the line, go for a Queen Walk or Roach all-in across the map. Was quite prevalent on Crimson Court, especially in the early days of the map pool, the earlier months. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on any kind of deviation here. Again, UedSoldier, every game so far has gone for a Twilight Council opener into 4-gate glaives. I'm sure we're gonna mix it up, right? I'm sure we have something else. Hippie. In chat, I'm calling DTs. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad call. Alright, it could be a DT opener. We could be seeing something like a standard Stargate opener. Pylon gets thrown down once again right next to the gas geyser, once again closer to the chest. This could still be a Stargate opener, but I'm leaning more towards Twilight Council. Twilight Council could be a crazy robo opener into a disruptor drop. True. I mean, there's options. There's options for UedSoldier. Meanwhile, standard opener out of EON. EON staying in gas? Uh-oh. Is staying in gas. This should be for a fast lair, for a fast roach war, and the gas is usually not mined this early on without good reason. So bear that in mind as well. EON has aggression on the mind. Across the map, Twilight Council once again. But as we mentioned before, just because the Twilight Council could still be a Dark Shrine, could be Glaive of Depths, could be a combination of the two. This time, though, we're staying in. Oh, spoke too soon. Never mind, it's 4-gate glaives. We pull out of gas. It looks like 4-gate glaives for third time. Third time's the charm. True. I mean, hey, it worked in game 1, and now it's happening again here in game number 3. As glaives should be being researched momentarily. Meanwhile, across the map, it's the same build as the last game. That was just under 3-minute Baneling Nest. That was like 2:55 Baneling Nest timing here for EON. Just like the last game, it looks like another Bane Bust. Against what should be Glaive Adepts. Gas is being mined, extra gateways are being thrown down. Oh boy, there it is. Glaives are on the way. I'm getting a bit of deja vu, but it's looking very similar to the previous game state here. And UedSoldier has no follow-up scout. There's no Adept moving out. There's no probe scout either. But, oh, we do have a second pylon at the wall. And we have a Stalker on the front lines. Big difference this time. Okay, so a Stalker takes many more Banelings to bring down than an Adept does. A Stalker is very tanky. It's very robust. Takes a lot to bring down. I'm concerned now for EON. That's going to be 7 Banelings holding in. I actually don't think 7 Banelings is enough to bring down the Stalker. I'm pretty sure we need more than that, but we'll see. As EON now checks the front lines, spots the Stalker. Banelings roll in. Yeah, it takes 11. I'm pretty sure it takes 11 Banelings. The Stalker does survive, and he's happy. Against Stalkers, they can take a good amount of Banelings to the face, and they're fine. And here we go. The build is coming underway. Glaive Adepts finishing up in 10 seconds. Another Stalker, another wall. I'm pretty sure we've seen games where if there's a shield battery behind the Stalker, a Baneling Blast will kill the Gateway and the Cybercore before the Stalker. Like, the Stalker will live surrounded by destruction. It's crazy just how robust Stalkers are. But I like the stat of EON. He backs off. He's joining up. Because of this, he can still deal with Glaives. I mentioned before that you can use these Banelings defensively, but the drone count for EON is in the gutter. Like, the drone count is in dire straits. EON has to drone up heavily here. Ay. As he does get dropped in. Going for the drones. Gets one. Gets two. Two drones go down. And this is already good damage. Even trading with the Banelings. And here comes the rest of the army. Behind this, UedSoldier. Yep. Getting a third base, working towards immortal production. UedSoldier going for a longer game state. Remember, 4-gate Glaives is not all in. And UedSoldier can now expand and get further ahead. Meanwhile, EON is going for a secondary all-in, mining through the mineral patches. UedSoldier, he doesn't see! He doesn't notice! EON's crazy! Let's go! The wall is open. The drone will reveal itself, though. And here we go. Lings, they flood in. The force field is a little bit too late. Does cut off a good amount of Lings, though. Yeah, second force field behind this. One sentry goes down. Second and third sentry as well. But there's another sentry on the way, warping in just in time. Yeah, just perpetual force fields. UedSoldier holds. Again, a very fast reaction, throwing down those force fields. Does wall up. Meanwhile, EON rotating around, going for the third. And the third base is gonna fall. Third base does get surrounded. Army does respond, and can EON snipe that third base in time? The Lings, they should be able to. Yeah, third base does fall. Nice pick off here from EON. From here, he can pull back and drone. He can, but will he? The expansion has fallen. UedSoldier did wall off. Did wall off. And EON is still barely joining up. 36 workers. EON, he's hoping for a counterattack. He's praying that the UedSoldier goes for a move out. But UedSoldier is building up into Colossus. The bay is done. Thermal lance on the way. And it's just going to be building up back at home and going for Adepts to harass. Still no third, and EON confirms. He has no Overlord towards the left, he has Lings towards the right. Looks like UedSoldier does intend on expanding on the left-hand side. He's mining through those minerals. He's mining through the wall. EON still building up back at home. Depths for the mineral line, though, and drones are going down. So far, only one worker. There we go, plenty of Lings to defend. UedSoldier forced to lift up. And soon it's going to be go time for EON. Now the Observer does see everything. The Observer in between the bases spots the army. That's why UedSoldier is not moving out. That's why he knows it's not safe to. He sees the army and he sees lack of saturation. He sees everything. Now UedSoldier, he knows his win condition is defend. Just defend and expand. And EON, things are looking more and more dire as time goes on. Does mine through all the minerals. And we're going for a massive move out. Now, likewise similar to the Observer, EON also sees the main army. He sees 3 Colossus, sees the shield batteries. But can he break this position, though? EON forced back into the main once again. Still committed. And here we go. It's all or nothing for EON. He is completely all in. He's gonna be all in, but against 2 shield batteries, against all these sentries, that's the biggest problem here. There's a lot of Ling Bane, but with force fields, UedSoldier should be fine. Should be. I mean, there are some Ravagers to bring them down. It's going to be a very, very intense fight here, but there we go. Lings, they engage. Force fields are thrown down. They're just walling off the main army. The Roach Ravager can't engage. The Lings melt. Overcharge gets popped, and UedSoldier, he shuts down this army completely. So many force fields. And as the game progresses, it's getting worse and worse for EON. Still barely saturated back at home. Massing up more Lings, more Roaches. At this point, I mean, EON can't drone. At this point, like, it's too late for that. And here comes the counterattack. And UedSoldier still has plenty of energy for more force fields. Is pushing forward. Once again, does cut off the army. Link Bane gets shut down. UedSoldier, he just keeps going in. Gets a queen. Snipes the queen, cuts off more roaches. Yeah, this straight point is brutal. We get some decent piles. They do connect. But we need more than a handful of piles here. As the UedSoldier is gaining ground, pushing forward into the bases, into the expansion. Oof. Does connect with a sentry at least. Takes down a couple of units here and there. But even the observer still lives, still survives. And over time, the base is getting lower and lower. Shaving off more Roach Ravager. Just very delicate micro here from UedSoldier. He knows he doesn't have to commit. Just poking in whenever he can. Sniping units almost for free. Gets the hatchery. Gets 7 drone kills at the same time. Adepts, they shade into the main. Yeah, now he goes for the dive. Dives on the main army. GG gets called, and UedSoldier will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, UedSoldier will take the series, and my condolences to EON. Again, EON did have a plan of attack, of course, in Game 2 to punish the build of his opponent, but after that punish, UedSoldier just went for the same build, but went for a slightly different variation. Remember, 2 pylons on the low ground, and more importantly, a Stalker to wall off, not an Adept.